Hello, everybody. Hello, this is Dr. Dondee Nettles, and we're continuing on this five-part topic of weight loss and weight management. And this time we're talking about number 3, which we're going to call nutrition or your macros. More specifically, managing your macros. What are macros? Have you ever heard of macronutrients? They're the 3 big ones: fat, carbohydrate, and protein. Everything you eat is made up of those 3 things. Your body is meant to have them. Your body should be getting them. So let's manage the macros. So let's talk about food. Let's talk about nutrition. And I wore this shirt because let's just talk about like we're on vacation, because it's when we're on vacation or like a cruise or something like that where we actually lose track of proper nutrition and we let things kind of get away from us. Do you know what the average weight gain is on a 7-day cruise? 5 pounds. 5 pounds. That's a lot of excess calories. So let's focus on not gaining weight while you're on a cruise or while you're on vacation by addressing the nutritional component at its source, the macros. So I'm going to read something from Healthline. And we're talking now about macros as it relates to weight loss or weight management. And so, what is a good macro diet for beginners? In other words, what ratio of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins should you be focusing on during your meal preparation, or just your home meals that you're making for your family or you're making for yourself? There should be some kind of protocol. Now, there is a little flex room. There is a little leeway in these numbers, but these are really accurate numbers. So a good macro diet for beginners could follow the macronutrient recommendations, and this is what they are. Daily caloric intake of 45 to 65% of your calories should come from carbohydrates. Okay, what are carbohydrates? If it grows in the ground on a bush or a tree, it's a carbohydrate. Okay, if it comes out of the ground or off a bush or off a tree, it's a carbohydrate. So 45 to 65% of your daily consumption of calories should be coming from carbohydrates. So fruits, vegetables, nuts, grains, things of that nature. And then from fat should be 25 or 20 to 35% from fat. 20 to 35% from fat. Doesn't have to be animal fat. You can get fat in avocados. You can get fat in olives. You can get fat in nuts. You can get fat, obviously, in meat. So 20 to 35% of your daily calories from fat. Your fat, and let me just discuss this, because this is something that was back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, this misdirection of where people's knowledge went. Fat was bad. Everything went to low fat, no fat, and that is horrible. Your brain is primarily fat. You need fat. Fat is critically important for your overall health and wellness, especially if you're on a weight management or weight loss diet. Gone are the days of eat fat, you get fat. No, 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 no. Most people who put on excess weight, it's excess carbohydrates and the sugars that you don't utilize. Your body doesn't have enough insulin to break it down. So rather than store it, or rather than get rid of it, it stores it as fat. Sugar becomes fat. It's low sugar you should focus on, not low fat. So managing your macros, remember this. So 45 to 65% protein, 20 to 35% of your daily calorie intake as fat. And lastly, 10 to 35% of your daily calorie intake from protein. 10 to 35% from protein. That's your meats. Now, there's protein in broccoli. There's protein in avocados. There's protein in eggs. It doesn't have to come from meats. There's very good sources of protein that obviously vegans and vegetarians get good sources of protein. So whatever your management is in your macro ratio, I personally go by the 40, 30, 30. 40% carbohydrate, 30% fat, 30% protein. That's personally what I go after, and that works really well for me. But so now in summary, and the macros, managing your macros is your fats, your carbohydrates, and your protein. So 45 to 65% of your daily calories should come from carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables, and things of that nature, grains, nuts, also, and seeds. 25 or 20 to 30 for 20 to 35% from fat, and 10 to 35% from protein. I kind of mix those numbers. Let me do it one more time. In summary, 45 to 65% from carbohydrates, 20 to 35% from fat, and 10 to 35% from proteins. Manage your macros for proper nutrition. Now, you can do some Google searches. You can buy some books on how to properly find those sources, but I'll give it I'll kind of put it to you this way. Carbohydrates grow in the ground, on a bush, or on a tree. Those are carbohydrates. Proteins, if it walks, flies, or runs, it's a protein. And fats can come from both of those sources. Fats can come from something that walks, flies, or runs. Fat can also come from something that comes out of the ground, grows on a bush, or on a tree. But certainly carbohydrates come from out of the ground, on a bush, or on a tree. Proteins, if it walks, flies, or runs, it's a protein. There you go. Manage your macros, my friend. Pursue wellness. Master number 3, managing your macros, your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Have a great day. Take care, and God bless.